Oh, hey y'all, how's it going? Fatty here, and thanks for joining me on the channel that has more polls than your mom's basement. And today I am bringing you a video that was requested. I did 2 polls on my channel. One was asking what resource guide you wanted next and on which map, and it came to be Aberration and Element/Element shards and whatnot. So today I am bringing you the best way to get Element on that map, Aberration. Now, long story short, it's not. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, and I'll see you next time. But in all seriousness, Aberration is probably the most difficult map to really get Element on. It is one of the few maps that you can actually technically craft it on, and I will go through those steps because that's the only true way to get it on Aberration without doing another method. Also, on any other map, you can get Element from doing the boss fights. Aberration, because it is one that you kind of ascend, it has a huge cutscene, you lose your dinos there, you don't get Element. It's a really odd kind of one to end on, so it doesn't even give you that option to do it. So I will tell you, you're much better off getting Dust on Extinction or doing an Element Vein and just bringing the Dust over to Extinction or getting a gotcha, something like that. I will go over those couple methods at the very end, but if you are on Aberration and you really do want to get Element on Aberration, I will go over how you craft it, where it is all at, and how to do that. And if you want, I'll have all the time codes, and it'll be like, you know, the little clicky things at the bottom of the YouTube. You can go all the way to the end to find out the better ways to get on Aberration, but everything else in between will be how to get on Aberration. And let's not waste any more of your time and jump straight into it. So to craft Element, you're going to need several different things. You're going to need 20 green gems, 15 blue gems, 10 red gems, 20 element ore, 50 congealed gas, and 8 charged batteries. Now each one of those things we're going to go buy individually to get, because they're all a little bit different and in different areas, but they're all kind of generally really easy to kind of get a grasp on where you're going to need to get them. Green gems are always found in like the green zone, right, where there's the plants. You're going to start off at Fertile Lake, stuff like that, that starting artifact area, as well as blue gems are going to be found in the kind of blue zone where all like the metal rocks are found, blue gems, the water, Carcano, stuff like that. And then again, the red gems are going to be really easy and kind of in the radiation zone where it's a little bit more red. Now, I'm going to give you guys exact locations of the best spots to get these ones for, because every map is a little bit different. So starting off though, the green gems is going to be best to get in the starting kind of area along the cliffs, outside of that artifact kind of baked in area, but on the higher ledges you're going to find a higher concentration of them. You can actually get there by foot, but let's be honest, if you're trying to get Element and you can't get to higher places, and you probably should not be worrying about getting Element to begin with. But these locations are going to be found at 44.5, 29.3, and as you can kind of see in the footage as I walk around here, there are just so many of these green gem spots up here, and this is the most like concentrated area that I could find. Like I said, there are a ton everywhere. You can always look up resource maps as well, but this is going to be the best location to get the green gems. So next up on the list is going to be blue gems. This is going to be located at 36.9, 52.6. Now this is where it gets a little bit more tricky. Around here you want to start carrying a light pet with you to make sure, you know, any of the nameless that come up, you're going to be able to defend yourself. As well with specifically blue gems, I always carry a whip. They're usually around those mushrooms, and they're the ones that kind of freeze you and they can take your health down really fast. So what I like to do is, since the whip has such a long range, you can just kind of whip it all around those and then just go up and mine it as you need to. Another thing is, if you're on an Anki's tail swing is long enough or has a wide enough range that you can knock down all of those mushrooms, get them out of the way, and then just kind of hit the crystals as you need to. So it's a really nice way to do it. So just be aware though, because if you just kind of go charging in with that and you're not really paying attention to those mushrooms, you can easily get yourself killed. And on Aberration, it's just such a pain in the butt to get back to your body. And then after that, you're going to need to get some red gems. Now this is located at like the very lowest parts of the map. I'm going to give you my jumping off point that usually I take a mana and just kind of jump down there if I need to get red gems, which, you know, like I said, Aberration's like the worst farming map unless you're getting metal. So I wouldn't recommend it, but if you are, jump from 49.6, 49.0, and then jump down there. Try not to land in the purple water, but if you kind of head south and away from it, if you're looking off, when you're jumping off this way, you're looking south, just head that way and you're going to see a lot of red gems along the black pearls and the oil that are down there. Now, if you do not have the best PC settings, the red gems are actually going to be the last thing to render, so sometimes it doesn't look like they're actually there. You'll see the oil, you'll see the black pearls, and you won't see the red gems, so you think they might not be there, but they actually have a little bit closer of a render range, so just be wary of that if you are playing on like lower PC settings or sometimes Xbox and PS4 as well. And after that, you're only going to need two other things, and that's going to be the congealed gas and element ore. Now, element ore is one of the harder ones to get to. You're going to need to get to the surface to get there, and I'll give you the coordinates to get up to the surface. Other than that, you're going to need charged batteries and congealed gas. Now, those ones, as you're kind of going around getting the blue and the green gems, you're going to see a ton of those charge nodes. That's where you're going to need to craft the element. That's where you're going to get the actual batteries and to charge them. You can craft the batteries in like a fabricator or a replicator, but you're going to need to charge them at those nodes. And now several of these nodes also have a congealed gas one next to it as well, so just keep your eye out for those as you're going along. Now, the very last ingredient we're going to need to actually finally craft the element is going to be element ore itself. Now, this is going to be found at the surface. Now, the entrance I like to use is located at 79.1, 28.1. Now, you definitely need to bring a light pet. You need to bring multiple sets of flak. You have to go at night. It's just such a pain. There's going to be so many reapers and nameless up there that it is just really difficult to even just survive up there. And then on top of that, you have to actually find the ore, mine it, and everything. So it's such a pain. But if you do manage it, it's up on the surface, grab what you need and you can bring it back down, and then you just need to go find one of those charge nodes, and then you put it all in and you can craft it. And it takes quite a while, so you definitely want to set up some turrets, maybe even build a little like hut around it, just create almost like a mini fob just to kind of protect it while it's going around. Now, that is the way you can do it if you're on Aberration. I wouldn't recommend it. Like I said, it is really tricky. It's all over the place. You have to do so many things. You're going to have rad suits. It's such a pain. Now, I'm going to go over the next couple different methods that you can use to get element onto Aberration without having to get it on Aberration. Now, my pro tip of this whole thing is going to be, as an Ark player, you have to get really comfortable with farming off server. A lot of servers that have really great base locations aren't going to have all the best resources to get on one map. And there's no reason you need to get all your resources on one map. It's so much faster and even efficient to go off servers because you can just spawn up at beds, have different locations, and transfer. It really actually saves you a lot more time than having to fly a location. So really get comfortable with that. And let's just jump into those next tips on how to get you element on Aberration without having to be on Aberration. Yeah. But real quick, if you guys haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. We also do have channel memberships down below, as well as merchandise, as well as a Discord. So go check all that good stuff out. It really does help, and I will just move on with the video. So if you're really struggling to get element no matter what map you're on, and you really just need to get some quick element to be able to transfer off server, the number one way that I go to get element, especially early game if you're just trying to build your first replicator, is go to Extinction, have an RG and a Doedicurus, and just spawn into Sanctuary. Now, all over the place, there's going to be so many lamp posts, tables, benches, all that kind of stuff that you can just knock down. You're going to farm a ton of element dust, you're going to farm a ton of element dust, crystal, as well as electronics. And all those are really incredible resources and really not hard to get, but really easy to get in like one fell swoop. Especially those electronics without actually having to get the silica pearls and the metal will be huge early game. Now, dust is great because you can transfer it anywhere and you can get quite a bit. I know when I was doing this on Small Tribes Official, I was able to do this little lap that I'll show you guys on screen here in about 15 minutes, and I could get about 113 to 125-ish element. So that was enough to get a replicator, and if I did that at least once, waited a while, did it again, I would have more than enough for a skiff. So you could easily get a bunch of resources there. Now, it's not going to be the most efficient way to fill shards if you're on Crystal Isles or Genesis or Extinction or something like that. But this is going to be a great method if you're just needing that dust to travel. Another really great method is if you're going to need a bulk amount of dust, like you're on Aberration and you just don't want to actually craft it because that's just ridiculous and stinks, is to do element veins. There's going to be multiple difficulties, and I'll have a whole nother video on that if you guys want, so definitely comment down below if that's something you guys are interested in. But there's 3 different difficulties of element veins. They each give a different amount of shards, element, and dust. Now, the dust is really going to be what's more valuable to you if you're just trying to transfer this off, but you can also take take those shards in the element and for a really expensive cost break it back down to dust. I wouldn't recommend that unless you're really desperate just for only the dust. I usually tend to, if I'm wanting that dust to transfer to someone else, keep that dust to transfer it off server and then use the element and the element shards to actually craft like tech turrets, replicators, generators, transmitters, all that good stuff on Extinction, and then take that to your home map and then have that and have all that dust to craft as you need, and it really works out very well. So I hope that helps you guys out a ton. Like I said, Aberration's not the greatest method for getting element, but this is one that you guys requested, so this is how you can do it on Aberration. This is how you can do it off of Aberration to get it to Aberration, and that should cover everything you guys need. If you guys want any more resource guides, please comment down below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.